Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanishalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. In this session, we'll be discussing from the second verse of the 16th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Sa uttarasya tanayam upayema iravatim janamejaya adims chaturaha tasyam utpadayat sutan. The meaning of this verse is, King Parikshit married the daughter of King Uttara and begot 4 sons headed by Maharaj Janamejaya. So this chapter describes how Parikshit received the age of Kali. Parikshit ascended the throne as the emperor of the world after Yudhishthira Maharaj Nipana was retired. Then he married and begot 4 sons. He married the daughter of King Uttara. So Srila Prabhupada explains the purport. Maharaj Uttara was the son of Virata, and this Maharaj Uttara was the maternal uncle of Maharaj Parikshit. Why? Or how is this relationship? Because when the Pandavas were living incognito in kingdom of Virata, Arjuna was instructing Virata's daughter. So, of course, Arjuna was in disguise as a dance teacher. Then when later on Virata came to know that this Arjuna as a dance teacher was not an ordinary dance teacher, but he was Arjuna, then Virata wanted to marry his daughter to Arjuna. But Arjuna refused, because Arjuna said, as a teacher, I am like the father. I am in the position of a father. So I can't marry her, but my son can marry her. So Arjuna's son Abhimanyu, he married Virata's daughter. Now Parikshit is the son of Abhimanyu. So Iravati, the daughter of Maharaj Uttara, who is the brother-in-law of Abhimanyu, is actually a cousin to Parikshit. So Iravati was a cousin sister of Maharaj Parikshit. Maharaj Uttara's daughter and Abhimanyu's son Parikshit were cousins. So Srila Prabhupada says, cousin brothers and sisters were allowed to get married if they did not belong to the same gotra or family. So this is the important point. Even though they are cousin, brother and sister, they can get married if they don't belong to the same gotra. Gotra means family. In the Vedic system of marriage, the importance of the gotra or family was stressed. Sagotra marriage is not allowed, because the progeny will be weak. Sagotra marriage, the children they conceive will be weak. So therefore, different gotra, belonging to different gotra, is important for consideration of marriage. And Prabhupada gives another example. Arjuna also married Subhadra, although she was his maternal cousin sister. Arjuna married Krishna's sister. Krishna was the cousin brother of Arjuna, because Arjuna's mother Kunti and Krishna's father Vasudeva were sister and brother. So therefore Arjuna and Krishna were cousins. But therefore Arjuna and Krishna, not only Arjuna and Krishna, Arjuna and Subhadra were also cousins. But how could they marry each other if they were cousin, brother and sister? That is because they belong to the different Gotra. Now Srila Prabhupada in the purport explains the brief history of Janamejaya. Janamejaya was the eldest son of Parikshit. Parikshit begot 4 sons headed by Janamejaya. So Janamajaya's brief history is given by Srila Prabhupada. He says, one of the Rajarshi kings and the famous son of Maharaj Parikshit. Janamejaya is a Rajarshi, a saintly king. Raja, Rishi. It's both Raja and Rishi. That means he is a saintly king. His mother's name was Iravati. Janamajaya's mother's name was Iravati. Or, according to some, Madravati. Maharaj Janamejaya begot 2 sons of the names Jnatanika and Shankukarna. He celebrated several sacrifices in the Kurukshetra pilgrimage site. This Janamejaya, later on it will be described that Maharaj Parikshit handed over charge of ruling the world to his eldest son Janamejaya. When Parikshit retired from his royal duties, when he was cursed to die within 7 days by a snake bite. Those incidents will be described in the later chapters. So, therefore it is described when Janamejaya took charge of ruling the world from his father Parikshit, he also got married and he begot 2 sons of the name Jnatanika and Shankukarna. These emperors or kings were very responsible in leaving behind a well-trained, qualified successor for the welfare of the world, for ruling the world properly. There is a need for a good Kshatriya, a qualified Kshatriya, a proper Kshatriya to rule the world for the welfare of the citizens. So these emperors, they themselves were very good rulers, and they also begot good children, Sat Santana, by the proper process, by the proper methods, by following the proper instructions of the bona fide spiritual authorities. Then it is described here, this Janamejaya celebrated several sacrifices in the Kurukshetra pilgrimage site. Kurukshetra is famous for being a holy place. Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre. The beginning of Bhagavad Gita, it is described, Kurukshetra is Dharmakshetra, a holy place. A place where religious rituals are performed. It's a very sacred place. So, this Janamejaya, he performed several sacrifices in Kurukshetra. Why would they perform sacrifices? For the welfare of the citizens. They were very responsible kings. And it's also described here, Janamejaya had 3 younger brothers named Shrutasena, Ugrasena and Bhimasena II. So he had 3 younger brothers also. He invaded Takshashila or Ajanta, and he decided to avenge the unlawful curse upon his great father Maharaj Parikshit. Later on it will be described that Parikshit was cursed to die by snake bite. So this Janamejaya, when he learnt about it, he wanted to take revenge against the snake which bit his father, according to the curse. So what did he do to take revenge? This is Janamejaya. He performed a great sacrifice called Serpa yagnya to kill the race of serpents. He wanted to kill all the snakes, because one serpent bit his father. Of course, his real anger was against Takshaka, one of the serpents, who bit his father because his father was cursed to die by snake bite, particularly Takshaka's bite. So this Janamejaya arranged a Serpa yagnya to be performed by qualified Brahmanas. And his aim was to kill the race of serpents, including Takshaka. Now, on request from many influential demigods and sages, he had to change his decision to kill the race of serpents. That means, when he undertook this sacrifice, he was advised by many influential devatas and sages and saintly persons, don't do this. Don't simply kill all the serpents. This is unfair. This is not proper. And then he actually agreed to stop the sacrifice when he was instructed or advised by many saintly persons and even devatas not to do this kind of sacrifice, to kill all the serpents. But in spite of stopping the sacrifice, what did Janamejaya do? He satisfied everyone concerned in the sacrifice by rewarding them properly. He gave the proper dakshina, even though sacrifice was stopped. It was not conducted. But he did give dakshina to the sages, to the brahmanas who were appointed for performing the sacrifice. In this ceremony, Mahamuni Vyasadeva was also present in that Serpa yagnya, preparation for Serpa yagnya. And he personally narrated the history of the battle of Kurukshetra before King Janamejaya. So Vyasadeva, he is an incarnation of the Supreme Lord for the sake of preparing the scriptures, especially the scriptures for the people of Kali Yuga and the common people. So Mahamuni Vyasadeva was present in that sacrifice, and he personally narrated the history of the battle of Kurukshetra to Janamejaya, how Janamajaya's great-grandfather, Parikshit's grandfather is Arjuna. So Janamajaya's great-grandfather is Arjuna. How Arjuna fought in the battle of Kurukshetra, how Arjuna was instructed by Krishna, how Arjuna conducted himself very bravely, etc., etc. Later on, by the order of Vyasadeva, Vyasadeva's disciple Vaishampayana narrated before King Janamejaya the subject matter of Mahabharata. Now the Bhagavad Gita is a small portion of Mahabharata. The Mahabharata is the history of greater India. It is very, very big scripture. While Bhagavad Gita has 700 verses, Mahabharata has 100,000 verses or 1 lakh verses. Laksha Shloka Mahabharata has. Bhagavatam has only 18,000 shlokas. But Mahabharata has 1 lakh shlokas. So that Mahabharata was narrated to Janamejaya by Vaishampayana Rishi, who was a disciple of Vyasadeva. On the instruction of Vyasadeva, he did so. So this Janamejaya was affected very much by the father's untimely death. And he expressed his desire to Vedavyasa, I want to see my father again. And Vyasadeva fulfilled his desire. So when his father was presented by Vyasadeva, that is Parikshit, then both Parikshit and Vyasadeva were worshipped by Janamejaya. And being fully satisfied when he was able to see his father, due to the mercy of Vyasadeva, then he very liberally gave dakshina to all the brahmanas present at the sacrifice. and satisfied them completely. This is very important. A king's duty to give in charity. To especially the Brahmanas, because Brahmanas, they don't charge any fees, they don't collect any amount as their fees for giving advice or instructions or directing the people. But that doesn't mean that people simply take advice or instruction or directions without giving anything. They give something according to their means. Dakshina, that's called dana or dakshina. And the Brahmanas are satisfied with very minimum. But kings, they reward Brahmanas very liberally, because kings are very rich. So that the Brahmanas needn't have any anxiety about their maintenance. That's the principle. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.